All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening to another episode of Hollerin with Hollenbeck with Friends. This is kind of that spin-off with Hollerin with Hollenbeck, Joey Hollenbeck and myself hosting a podcast together. And this time, it's with one of Joey's friends, MK Bruce. Now, they're both Cougs. They both played in the NFL, and they actually reconnected. And you'll hear more about this, how they reconnected, what they did. Very interesting and fun story. He's a funny guy. First time for me meeting him. And, in this episode, you get to kind of hear about him from being a kid all the way up until entering the NFL. And so I hope you have a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun recording, and I just want to give a shout out to the show sponsor. We got Cole Street Brewery. Please hit them up. Thank you so much, Sean McDonald, for hooking us up with some beer. I probably had a little bit too much. You won't see that until the second episode, but the first episode, this one, I was handling it quite nice, if I do say so myself. So hit up Cole Street Brewery, 1627 Cole Street. I had the Vienna Lager all night long. And anyway, you get that $1 off if you take yourself in a photo at Cole Street. And also, please hit up MK Bruce and Team Bruce. You'll hear more about that in the episode, where to find him if you're looking for a mortgage or a loan. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day and take care. Hollerin with Hollenbeck.
Holleback. Joey Hollenbeck.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Hollerin with Hollenbeck. We got Joey Hollenbeck on the mic.
What is happening?
And we also got a friend. It's Hollenbeck with friends. Who's your friend? Introduce him.
I'm Christo Bruce in the house.
I love it. Talk to me about friends. I love it. Friends.
Get close to that
Get
mic.
that mouth in the mic. There we go.
Get that suction cup up there.
Yeah, we're all looking at eyes right now. We're used to the mask. All we can just see is eyes right now. So I think it should be nice.
This reminds me
familiar.
of Talladega Nights. What do I do with my hands? What do I talk?
Get him away from me.
We got MK Bruce on the mic with us as well. Real quick, Joey, where can we find you?
Jay Hollenbeck66 Instagram.
All right. Anywhere else that we can find you?
Got to search it.
Got to search it.
I don't remember.
Hey, that's a big fella. You're not gonna miss him. Okay, that's a big fella.
MK, where can we find you?
mchristo.bruce is on Instagram, and then you can look me up mchristo on Facebook, because I am probably the only M Christo out there.
But the M Christo is the MK, not the MCH, right?
Correct.
The MK Risto. All right.
MK Risto. There you go.
It just made me want to bake a cake or something. You just drop some Crisco on me or something.
Some of that MK Risto.
Okay. Hey, bro, you can pull that closer to you and sit back and get comfortable.
Yeah,
I'm trying.
Kick
man.
your feet up,
Yeah,
big dog.
I'm a little awkward right now.
I'm telling you, this is a big boy. This is a big boy in front of us. How tall are you there, MK?
I'm 6'6". I tower over Joe, and you know Joe's a big fella.
Come
on,
I
bro.
tower over
The funny
Joe.
thing is, when they showed
I
up,
sneezed next to you and you took a side step the other day.
Easy,
So I don't want to hear.
Because you're 6'4", 330.
yeah,
303.
this
maybe.
is this is
Maybe wet.
This is how they showed up today. I've been waiting for them. I'm all excited, and here comes MK. Gets out of his truck, and he goes in the back seat. I'm like, where's Joey? He unbuckles Joey, throws him over his shoulder, and brings him in. Burps him a little bit, sets him down, and then sits him right down.
He's a
right there.
dainty little 330.
Hey. You know what I like about this? I like about this how you're trying to jump sides right now. You see it? You're a sellout, bro. Where's your cook? You got your Husky T-shirt on over there? Okay.
I don't own one. I don't know what you're
That's
talking
the
about.
worst part. We come in here. I'm like, where's the cougar flag at?
Yeah, there is no cougar flag yet. There will be though.
Hey,
but we got the thing. We got the thing that matters. Even though you don't like that flag, you were talking White Claw, not Natural Light Seltzer.
No.
You're the White Claw guy
I love White Claws.
all day.
Hey, my pinky's up.
Yeah, but you picked the biggest bullshit flavors. I'm like, hey, what do you want me to drink? You're like, grab me some of them black cherry White Claws, mate. Black cherry White Claws? That's like the word. That's like a mixed berry truly.
It goes black cherry.
That's
and
like
then goes
drinking
mango.
I feel like that's like taking a sip of like some
Zima.
or like a children's like ibuprofen with like a flavor in it.
No, I'm telling you right now,
No
sun's
bueno,
out,
big
claws
dog.
out.
Nope.
We're doing it.
All right, I like it. And you guys, we're gonna get into a lot of stories. We're gonna get a lot of stuff. You guys obviously like to talk trash.
No.
Real quick question, actually, who is the best trash talker between you two? Honestly,
I'll give that to Joe. Joe doesn't stop talking shit.
What?
Yeah.
No, bro.
You're auto shit talking at all times.
so do you feel like you have to when you see him, like, let's say that you just like are walking through the grocery store and you see Joey, and in your mind, in the back of your head, like, oh my gosh, he's just gonna talk. Like the first thing he's gonna say, I gotta be ready. I gotta be on my defense. I gotta be ready to go.
Teflon vest on. As soon as I see him, I know bullets are flying.
No, that's weak, bro. Because if anybody's gonna have your back first and foremost, it's gonna be.
That's not what we're talking
We're
about.
talking
We're
about
saying
trash talk,
Who talks the most shit? It's
well,
you.
then quit talking shit.
My wife comes up. She goes, "Do you guys even like each other?" It's like, no, that's how we show love.
That's how you show love.
Yeah.
And how did you guys meet? Like, where's the like relationship come in from you guys?
Tell that one. That's actually a really good story.
Go ahead. Let's hear it from your perspective.
Wait, so out here, especially in Maple Valley or Covington or actually Washington in general, there's not a lot of football camps for linemen, right? You would agree that it's 7-on-7. It's all these leagues where we're going to run the football or pass. And for the big guys, I always had this dream of doing some kind of football camp. And out of the blue, Joey calls me and is like, "Hey, what do you think about doing a football camp out here?" And I was like, "Brother, that's all I've been thinking about because there's nothing out here for us big guys, right? That you see, what would you see? People flipping tires and people like
we would do
nothing."
I was coaching at the time, and we'd be like, "Okay, we're doing a 7-on-7 skill camp, this and that. Oh, the linemen are welcome to come out too." And they'd do like tug of war and like they'd run through an obstacle course, and then they'd see how they'd time, like you could pick 5 guys off your offensive line or 4 guys or something and push like a new Chevy freaking 50 feet, and they'd time it. I'm like, there's no skill in this. Like these guys are learning nothing. They're just basically out here. They're basically all out here watching the skill guys get work, and they're doing nothing for their skill set. So I was like, this is BS. This is bullshit. Like nobody's dropping anything for these linemen and giving them knowledge or giving them any sort of technique, anything.
Give them anything for the actual game, right? So Joe goes, "Hey, MK, we're Cougs." And we had I know of Joe, and I'll tell you, I knew of Joe from Wazoo. So he left the year I got there, right?
Okay.
So we had just passed each other. And I always tell this story. I'll never forget. So it was one of my, it must have been like junior or senior year. I've been pretty established or whatnot.
I think it was your junior. I was back in town from Buffalo.
With the Buffalo, right? You were with the Bills. Yeah. So I mean, he was built like a Chevy truck. I mean, dude was huge. So he was in his
like a
prime.
recalled Chevy truck or like
No.
a okay, all right.
I'm talking about the ones with the big wheels.
I'm talking about you, bro.
Not a Colorado. I'm talking about a big diesel, like a big dually diesel.
It.
So I'm in the locker room. It's halftime. Dude comes through and his shoulders are scraping locker to locker. I mean, just coming through. "Hey, anybody got a dip?" And it's in the middle of halftime. And everybody's like, "Who is this big dude?" And it was, "Oh, that's Joey. He used to play." So you get the scoop. And we knew of him, some of the older guys. But dude was just as big as a shithouse brick. And he comes through. And so, when I got back to Maple Valley, we had gotten up a couple times. But when he called me and I was like, if I'm going to be doing it in the trenches with anybody, is Joe. So long story short, we get together. We got a bottle of whiskey or maybe like 5 bottles of wine one night.
Yeah, we
remember that?
Hard, yeah. But we would just like sat down with like pads and paper and just start cutting it up and like, "Hey, what do you think about this vision? Like, what do you think about this?" And then we start bouncing ideas off each other. And within like 3 months?
It was less than 3 months. We started our own business.
We had a business license. We went through. We had what? 150, 200 kids.
We had
something like that.
It was ridiculous. We sold out
130.
Yeah,
something.
We sold out over here at Enumclaw High School.
We did it at Pete's.
Really?
We did it at Pete's Pool. So we sat down and just started bouncing ideas off each other and vibing. And then we would do that like, we did it like every night for like a week probably.
Yeah.
And then we were just like, "Okay, let's do this, let's do that." And we started MK is really good at like, has outreach with a bunch of different people, sponsorships. We got, like supplement companies, and then we had like big banners made. We just went for it, man, and we did it, and it took off. And then we ran it that whole year, and we were like, let's grind, let's keep it going. I kind of kick myself now, but that was a tough time when after we finished it up, it was like super successful. We had a good time doing it, and then my mom passed away, and I kind of went to a like different era, and I was just kind of like, we kind of like it. Just we both kind of. But
phased out. It phased out.
But the crazy thing
we still
was
talk about it.
It was a tough time for Joe, and we all knew that. It was like something that we're still passionate about. And the thing is, like, Joe and I both have so much knowledge about our positions. It was great because offensively and defensively, we both brought so much knowledge to the table. But going forward, I think we knew what we created and we know what we can do. So I think it's going to come back. It was just one of those things that we're just going to have to, recalibrate.
Yeah, I think we can do it again if we ever play football again.
Yeah, I don't know if that's ever happening. So you guys met at a halftime show? Or not a halftime show?
No. I think the first time we met, but we didn't really talk or anything.
Right.
He gave him knuckles or something and then just like...
Got a whole bunch of chew and left. In the middle of halftime. Yeah, you guys got it. Who's got dip? Oh.
Come on, bro. And then ever since then, we've been like super tight. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, we'll start up again if we ever do football again. I don't know. We talk about it all the time. We already have T-shirts. We already have everything dialed. But it's
people
just a matter
people
of
reach out to us all the time still. I'm just like, hey, will you guys teach our kids? And it's just like, we're going to get back to that.
But you're a local boy.
Local.
Raised here?
Renton
High School.
Renton.
Where did you go to school? High school at?
Liberty High School.
Liberty High School. And
Patriots.
when did you start going, hey, I'm going to get into football?
When I was young, I've always been an athlete. So I'm one of 8 kids.
Youngest, oldest? Where do you fall in that?
I have 2 older sisters. And I remember, true story, you can ask anybody this, but me, all my siblings, my mom, we would walk to practice 5 miles. We would walk to practice. And then after practice, we would walk home because our car was broken down.
Right.
And that's all I ever knew. And to this day, so my oldest sister has autism, and she taught me everything about compassion, love, everything. And then, that football, getting out of the house, competing, everything like that. So our family rule is if you're not willing to lose all friends and family over a board game, you can't ride with us. So, we're flipping tables over.
So what were those board games you guys were playing? Like Sorry and stuff like that?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
If it's tic-tac-toe, I'm going to crush you. That's how we've been.
Competitive drive.
Yeah.
And any other siblings that kind of got into the sports?
Yeah, my brother, so it's so crazy. So my younger brother, Mtume, probably one of the best athletes in our family. He's just a hobbit, just a short dude, but just a freak athlete. My baby brother, Julian's bigger than me. He played football at Central, and then my baby sister actually plays rugby at Central.
When we say baby, how old are they right now?
18.
Oh, wow.
19,
So pretty large spectrum of ages for sure.
Yeah, but how many siblings do you have?
8.
8.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot of kids.
Yeah, right?
It's a Catholic family. That's where my parents came from. I'm not saying it's Catholic or not, but that's kind of what we call it. Now, and I interrupted where you were getting into football. So when did football become? You were an athlete. You always played. But when was it like the drive?
Man, I was always good at it. And I remember my freshman year, I loved football so much that I played Little League football and high school football at the same time. So I would finish my practice at Liberty High School, and there was a trail that went down to Maywood Middle School. I would just take my gear off, and I would sprint down the trail and meet for the other practice. And
just dehydrated as shit.
Hurting 4 hours a day in practice, just grinding. It was fun. That's all I ever knew. But again, too, there was, super humble home, wasn't a lot of food, wasn't a lot of stuff going on. So it was like, I'd rather be, practicing or playing a sport than, be at home. There wasn't a lot to do. Right. So I was kind of one of the drives too, is I was always playing a sport or doing something. So,
because you're doing sports and all that, when did it click for you? Like, I'm going to focus on football only.
That's a good question.
That's what I was just going to ask too. So was there a turning point? Like at some point, I know for me, and I don't know if you heard that pod, but there was a turning point for me where I was like, okay, hold up. You don't have to be a dipshit. You don't have to be a punk. Like, you have opportunity here. Time to hit the grindstone and go get it. You know what I mean? Was there a time like that for you?
I just think I had so many good
grades were good. Everything was good.
Yeah. I was right around a 3.0 guy, but my mentors or teachers, I had so many people in my life that were, when I tried to do something bad, they were like, no. There's better things for you, right? Mm-hmm. Which I think was so cool. Not everybody has that. So anytime I tried to veer the wrong way, they'd be like, "No."
Did you find that was when you were older, or when you were younger? Because I know, me, I had to find myself before. Yeah. I had people okay, hold up, we're gonna take you under our wing and direct you where to go. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I had to figure myself out by myself. Hey, off subject, you're pouring a growler with one arm?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because it's a quarter full.
I've been working out. Push-ups.
The dude usually has to put it on his chest to pour a growler.
It's the perfect pour. You just bring it right down there.
Dude's got a little shoulder strap for his growler.
Gives him one of these.
Reverse over the shoulder.
You just get it on your elbow and get that pour.
That's the over-shoulder boulder holder.
Let's not focus on me right now.
Enough out of you guys. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So
That I agree with you, but it was more so in high school, and then going to football camps, and then seeing success, and then Friday Night Lights. That changed everything for me.
Yeah.
Looking up and looking at those lights.
Oh yeah.
And being able to go to football camp. I went to football camp, and that's where I earned my scholarship. Was actually Cougar camp.
Me too.
Is that where you went?
Well, I went when in Enumclaw we had a coaching staff that was here for like ever, bro. Like
Ever.
And then after my sophomore year, and they were old school, which was fine. Like they knew the game and everything, but they were just old. They were just old school. It was like the game has changed so much in 20 years or whatever that looks like, right? So, out with the old and with the new, and when the new guys came in, they were like, "Okay, let's go." So we went to Wazoo camp. I was at the end of my sophomore year, going into my junior year. That summer, going into my junior year. And I was like still on that teeter-totter kind of like a punk mentality, but like I loved football because I could like be violent at it and not get in trouble. Yeah. And so when I went to Wazoo, and we've talked about this on the podcast before, but I went to Wazoo and we were at the camp, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna be first in every line, just competitive, right? And so like second day, third day or whatever, like coach comes up to me and is like, hey, Coach Price wants to see you in his office at 4 o'clock today. I'm like, why? I didn't do anything wrong. And he's
I'm
like,
getting kicked out.
Yeah, he's like, I'm like, shit.
Did he see me do that?
But no, then he was like, no, that's all good. He just wants to talk to you. I'm like, all right. So went up there, went to the field house. This is when his office was up by the field house. And like college girls waiting for me and stuff. I'm like, what's up? What's going on? Okay. Hey, like meet me at the entrance of the field house. And I'm like, okay. And they walk me all the way through the field house, walking me up the stairs.
Make sure you meet him at the front door.
Bring me all the way up to his office. He's like, sits me down in his office. He got the stuffed cougar behind him. And I'm sitting across from him on the couch, and he's like, hey, you know what, man? You're having a hell of a camp. And I'm like, thank you. He's like, you know what? I don't got to sugarcoat shit for you anymore. He's like, all bullshit aside, bam, I'm offering you a full ride to come here and play D-line. You know I played D-line, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. First freshman. True freshman.
You and I next to each other. Woo,
woo, woo. Bro, oh, goodness. Don't even get me started. Clog in the middle. Let your boy come around the edge and eat.
I got a weird feeling we both would have been eating, but
hey, double team one of them.
We both would have been eating, big dog.
So what about? So you went to Liberty.
Yep.
And then during, when did you start getting recruited? Like what?
Man, I started getting a lot of letters. There's funny stories. I was actually a quarterback in high school. I was a quarterback and a linebacker. So when I threw a pick, I would go down and make sure I was the first one to tackle whoever picked my shit.
So how tall? What was your dimensions that time?
Oh man, my senior year I left 6'5", 205.
Okay, so
I left.
So not much. You grew like another inch in college, kind of a thing.
Yeah, I left it. So my draft class, or when I was leaving my year, was 6'6", 265.
Really?
So yeah. Put on some girth.
Yeah, you did. so you're getting
just
recruited.
Straight rib cage when you showed up, dude.
Bro,
just straight rib cage, bro. 6'6", 260. When I walked in, I was like, "Oh, look at the new pole vaulter."
Oh my gosh. My wife goes, "Oh, so are you a receiver?" I was like, "Okay, all right."
Well, so yeah, you start getting recruited, and then
I had a bunch of letters. That was like one of the coolest things I remember in high school. I just had letters that filled up my wall, which was kind of cool. So I got a lot of interest, but no real offers. And I went to that Cougar camp, the WSU camp, and I was the same thing. I was full of piss and vinegar. I was first in every single line. Didn't matter where they wanted me. Didn't matter what I was going to do. I was just beat everybody, everything. And then Coach Price, same thing. They were like, Coach Price was like, we want to offer you a scholarship. So,
and bitch ass Huskies try to recruit you.
You know what? Best story in the world.
Jeremy. Who was the one that for you?
Chorak.
Oh yeah.
Keith Gilbertson said. He said he told my high school coach. He said, you know what? He's a good high school player, but he'll never play Pac-10 football.
Really?
Yeah. So I remember when I got to the league. He came. I think it was at the pro. What is it? Combine. He comes up and he shakes my hand. He goes, "Biggest mistake I ever made," and shook my hand. I was like,
"He's a good dude." Gilbert's a good dude.
Gilbert
was in Seattle for a minute when I was there, helping do some assistant coach stuff and whatever. But he's a really good guy. But I had Randy Hart when I was coming up, the D-line coach that was there.
Yeah.
So they had offered me first. Wazoo offered me first, and then UW offered me.
They heard.
UW offered me, and they were on me like nonstop. Well, I was going to practices all the time because it was like an hour drive, right? So I would drive up there and hang out and whatever, just stand on the sidelines, watch practice. The coaches would come up to me and say, "What's up?" You know, that whole recruiting bit, whatever. And then I was standing there one day in Choric. I don't know what his deal was, but he was like, dude, like, had an attitude with me or something. And I was just like,
okay,
suck it, bitch. I'm definitely not coming here.
Yeah.
And then I had some offers from other places too, but Wazoo was close enough, but far enough away that I was like,
hey, good choice. Good choice.
Excellent choice.
So you made your decision.
Yep.
Based off of what?
It's actually funny because my little league team was the 5-star Cougars. So, you know, during Husky, Cougar Day, Apple Cups, whatever, I always wore Cougar stuff ever since I was younger. So, I mean, I wanted to go to WSU. It just worked out great. I don't know. They offered me and I was like, yep. So I remember my senior year, I just wore a little Cougar on my helmet, just feeling good about it. So,
and then what was it like to finally, you know, get into college and then become a Cougar? And what was the difference between high school ball and college ball?
You know what's so crazy? I don't know if you remember the differences between little league and high school to college, college to league. I don't know if you ever like.
You asking me?
Yeah, if you
I mean, I
you remember, right?
I could have played, but I
but my knee. No, I remember.
I was so good at carrying water jugs that I didn't even want to get pads on.
turf toe, chronic turf toe.
I remember being in little league and watching being a ball boy at a high school game and seeing a sideline collision. It was like, what the hell is this? And then I just remember that, and then the game slowing down, and then I remember getting to college, and as a freshman, I was on the scout team, you know, and I was out there, you know, Gesser and those guys were playing, and I remember I was going as hard as I could. I remember there were fights every day, and I was
this
like,
dude, chill out, scout team All-American.
All-American.
I hated that shit.
Bro, I had so many scout team of the week awards in my locker.
I mean, it makes you it definitely makes you better. There's no question. But you were the dude on the walkthrough, and we're just in like, no pads, just helmets, and you're coming downhill. Like there was a linebacker that used to come downhill, and I'm like, bro. And like I'm like, bro, we have no pads on, and we're playing a big game tomorrow. We're playing like SC or something in the Coliseum. I'm like, yo, chill out. Like, I don't need you coming downhill on me with no pads on.
Shut it down.
And then he would keep doing it, and then eventually you just came out of your stance and just went, and he'd be like, the coach would be like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, tell this mother, slow down.
We would get full melees because the scout team come down. And people get, because if you get hurt in a walkthrough, you're like, this is stupid.
Yeah. Right. It's worthless.
Yeah. It's like, there's no point in it. Like, if you're going to go hard on Tuesday, go hard on Wednesday. Thursday's time to tame it down, bro.
Hey, if you're not going hard on Monday and Tuesday, I want you to calm it down.
Yeah. If you're avoiding me Monday and Tuesday and then coming full speed on Thursday, we got issues when we go in the locker room. Do you ever have anybody step on your toes all the time? Probably not.
Oh, my gosh. Yes.
Josh Parrish was the worst, and that guy had like skis. Bro, dude had skis. I don't know if I ever told this story before.
Probably not.
Ugliest offensive line.
Not when I was there.
America.
Not when I was there.
Yeah.
We were pretty. I was there, bro.
You see how I tossed that to him?
Yeah.
Hey,
when I was there, our line had swag.
Really?
Swag.
Who's your starting five?
I was the leader.
Who's your starting five?
Parrish, me, Hunt, Roach, and another dude. Everybody else was ugly as sin.
Roach looks like Gru from Despicable Me.
Big time, bro. Big time. And that dude would,
he built like Gru.
That dude would suck down some Coca-Cola. I'm talking like 23 a day.
Cokes?
Coca-Cola. I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, I brought swag to that all line, bro. I was the only senior that year. I remember fuckers hated me, though. I'd be like, come on, we're going to be in the weight room. Like, everybody's like, all right, we're out of here. I'm like, we're going to hit stadiums. They're like, I ain't doing that. I'm like,
the fuck you are?
Yeah, you are. And half the dudes were in my class, but I was a senior because I didn't redshirt. So they were like, dude. And I'm like, let's go. But it helped us through that season. We went 10-2 that year. Dominated.
Laid the bricks.
What did you play? Did you play in a bowl game?
Sun Bowl.
Sun Bowl. How'd it go?
We killed. We played Purdue. It was right? Drew Brees and all those guys.
Really? Crushed them.
We were good, man. We were really good.
You were playing OL or offensive line at the time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we crushed them. And then MK shows up, and then my class takes his ass to the Rose Bowl, gets him a ring on the scout team.
Championship. On the scout team. I still wear that ring, too. Hey, you know what? I helped those guys get there. I helped them get there.
That was my class, bro. I was so pissed.
I was so pissed.
I came in right after the '98 Rose Bowl, and then we were garbage. And then my junior year, we lost like 5 overtime games, which would have put us in a bowl game. And then my senior year, we were like, it's go time. And so we went 10-2, and then my class they all went Pac-10 championship and Rose Bowl. That was the class I came in with. And then you guys went to like Holiday Bowl. Then you go to like Holiday Bowl after that, and like something else. Like you guys were rolling for like 3 or 4 years. You got all that. You got all that hardware, huh?
All of it.
It's so cool how Joey takes the credit for it too.
What?
You laid the foundation.
Oh my gosh!
Just laid you were laying the tracks, and then
these
guys got to roll.
We were like 2-10. We were like 3-10.
But then you flip.
Then we. I didn't lay shit. We all did it. I mean, that was a grind though. And then MK came in and just rode the shit out of my coattails.
Surfing on the back of your
MK with a cowboy hat on, just riding that bitch.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Here's Joey.
No, but on a serious note, you had some crazy accolades in college.
All-American
and the whole time.
Yeah. Joey calling MK, hey, you want to be on the podcast? And MK's in his head like, all right, dude, listen, I'll do it. But you gotta stop. Like, we're even now. We're even. Like,
if I hear one more time, like I laid all the bricks one more time, like he's the Wizard of Oz, just yellow brick roading me all the way in.
Listen, Scarecrow, you better chill out.
Hey, what? So I grew up with a kid. I shouldn't say a kid. He's my age, right? We're old. We're old.
He's 38.
He's 40.
What? Chelan, like we were best friends growing up, going family vacations, all that. Edred. Now, yeah.
Let me hear you say.
We golfed with him. We golfed with him the other day. We golfed with him the other day.
We golfed with.
That's right, Edred.
We golfed the Edred from Enumclaw. Did you know that? Did you know at the time that he was from Enumclaw?
That dude was dropping bangers though. He said he was touring and doing the whole 9.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't know. Dude was cool. I think I met him a few times. Dude was cool.
Yeah, he said that you. I think he said that you'd come to a couple shows and here and there when he would do stuff, and then with that, I'm sure that stadium was just.
I mean, the stadium was. They played that. I mean, everybody got jacked up for that.
Yeah. So that's awesome. Yeah, he's
WAZZU. Say go. Say cool.
Spit it. Let's go.
I remember that.
Yeah. I had to throw the shout out. I had to get some street cred there.
He drizzled.
I didn't know it. It was after me.
Yeah.
That was after you. That was probably like my sophomore.
Yeah,
sophomore.
Yeah, because how old are you?
28, but but no,
that beard doesn't say 28. Get some just for minutes, motherfucker.
It's toothpaste.
Shots fired, bro. It's toothpaste. Shots fired.
Salt and pepper to the max.
Shots fired. He just clean shaved tomorrow.
No, 4 chins.
4
chins later.
Butt chin is hiding under there. You can tell that shit is hidden.
Dude, this thing is for sure. If I shave this thing, my wife will leave me.
So it's like, where'd your jaw go? Can you throw that beard back?
Damn, bro.
Hey, that means we're comfortable. I can take this. That means we're comfortable. All right, MK, shots fired. I'm going to tear you down the rest of the freaking episode.
Look, I was just going to say something good about you. Oh, that's awesome.
So accolades that you were talking. Joey was saying, "Hey, you got some accolades in college. What were those accolades?"
All Pac-10 and then All American. I don't know. I don't know. We just had fun, man. I just remember. I had 5 sacks in a game.
Really?
That was good. Yeah.
What's the record for Wazoo?
That was it
in a game.
That's a Pac-10 record. Tied a Pac-10 record of 5 in a game.
Really? Now, was the guy just super weak, or did you have some skill?
Hey, to be clear, I got it on both sides. Got it on both sides.
Yep. They had scouted him out and played the same dude on opposite sides.
Over here handing 50s out at halftime. Hey.
I got 3 right now.
Give me
the 5.
I just caught that stipend check though.
Stipend.
I just caught that stipend. Here you go, little buddy.
Hey, someone's asked me like, "Oh man, it's so cool, you're on full scholarship," and I was like, "Dude, hey."
The only cool thing about it is like 2 free meals a day.
Hey.
All you can eat.
All you can eat meals, and I just remember I had a lot of overdraft
bro. A lot of overdraft charges, and like you'd be like, yeah, but think about this though, bro. When you got that check once a month, and you got all your bills paid, and you'd be like, $400 for the rest of the month. Who wants to hit the bar? That bitch was gone after Sunday. You're like, Mom? Oh. Hey, Grandpa, how you doing? I haven't talked to you in a while.
Love you, Gramps.
Haven't talked to you in a minute. What'd you think of the game last week?
Haven't talked to you in a minute, Gramps.
It was so bad. I think we got $1,000 a month. It was something bad.
I didn't. I got like $870.
Something like that. And so I don't know. So I had my wife and my son. My son was born in Pullman. So it was all three of us. So me, my wife, my son. My son was.
Did you get more money for that?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
right. You had to.
Maybe that's
Were
why
you
we
married?
got $1,000.
Yeah, you got $125 more.
I don't
Lucky?
know, bro. It was that. So diapers, baby food formula, all that stuff. It was brutal.
I couldn't imagine that in college. I couldn't even take care of myself with the money I had.
So were you married in college or right after college?
We got married after.
Yeah, and then but kid in college, girlfriend, all that whole thing.
Sinner.
Dang, dude.
Sinner.
So were you focused? Were you at that point?
Yeah.
Was that your like? Listen, now I've got even more drive. Like, once you had that kid, were you like even more focused at that point?
So I mean, my wife and I were just. It was crazy because we were young. We were both going to school. She was in interior design. She started as an architect major, went to interior design, which is extremely. It's a top 10, I think, programs in the nation.
MK knocked her up. She finished the general studies.
Damn it. So she did get her degree in interior design. Baby, listen.
His damn it was great.
Listen, when you see Joe, go ahead and hit him. Go ahead and hit him.
I'm just kidding, bro. She's awesome. She's cool.
But yeah, so she got her degree, and then obviously I got mine too. But it was tough.
Yeah,
it was tough. It was fun though.
But you're focused.
We're fully focused. So we both graduated, and then after that, when I was in Jacksonville, we ended up getting married out there in Cocoa Beach in Florida.
Ooh.
But it was nice.
Florida, pretty nice out there.
It's gorgeous.
Really?
Gorgeous.
I like Florida too. People are crazy as shit though, but Florida, I like it.
It's a little different. So I played for Miami and Jacksonville. So in Miami, it's like you're South Beach, you're partying, you're having fun.
Yeah.
In Jacksonville, hey, you're basically in Georgia, South Georgia.
Thank you.
The world's a little different in South Georgia.
Yeah,
So,
I feel that.
Just a little bit different.
I feel that.
Did you pick up any? Well, we could probably get into that, but did you pick up any Florida type, like the Florida man type stuff? Like, were you
Like stealing cars and
Yeah,
shit?
did you get weird?
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean, Florida man?
That's what I'm saying. Did you get a little weird? Did you get a little
throwing
weird over
rocks
there?
and shit?
I
Stealing
did.
cars.
So one guy took us gigging. Gigging is like it was like super early, 4:00 in the morning in a flat bottom boat, and you have this like a spear. You try and spear fish. That was kind of weird, but I tried that.
Was that like in the Everglades type areas or what?
Yeah.
Did you think you weren't going to come home at that point?
It was some weird shit.
The little fat dude on the back, no shirt on, playing a banjo. Well, this was a bad idea.
You guys
Straw out of his mouth.
Well, this is gonna sting a little bit.
You guys do refunds? Is it too late for my 24-hour back out?
This is gonna sting a little bit.
Well, should have thought that one through.
You catch anything? I mean, fish wise.
Damn it, Joe! You can't take this guy anywhere.
You can't.
Can't take him anywhere.
You can't.
Oh, the crazy thing is like fishing. I'm terrible fisherman. I'm the worst.
I'd rather watch paint dry than fish.
Is the
Me
worst.
too.
My wife
Good.
every
I
time she
can't fish,
casts,
man.
she got some. Every
I
time.
can't.
Really?
I don't mess with it. I mean, I've never done any deep sea stuff, but
Dude, no, it's
No, not a chance. I'm doing deep sea.
boring.
no.
No.
Why?
Boring.
Why? Look at that go gadget arm.
Yeah.
Oh man, down.
Go
man
gadget beers explode.
Oh, truly?
Uh
You're talking about language.
So you came out. Go ahead. You came out of Wazoo, and then what?
Well,
Free agent.
Real quick.
drafted what? You
Real quick. I want to know one thing. The 5 sacks in a game is probably one of the most amazing games you've ever played in your entire life.
Right.
But was there just a play where you're like, dude, I'm NFL material? Like, was there anything where you're like, I now know that I got it?
Man, that's such a good question. I played against so many good people. So I played against that Reggie Bush, Lindell White, Matt Leinart, dynasty teams, and who was a quarterback for discount double check dude?
Aaron
Rodgers.
He played against Aaron
Where was
Rodgers.
he at? Like Oregon State or some shit?
Beast mode.
Didn't
No,
he
he
play
was at Cal.
Oh yeah, he was at Cal.
Oh, and Beastman was Cal too.
He was
Beastman
at
was
Cal.
Cal, yeah.
So you play against all these great players, and I just remember, going head up with all these guys or getting a sack against one of these, amazing, eventually gold jacket quarterbacks. I think one defining moment was playing against UW. I was on the sideline, and Coach Akey was like,
I love that dude.
"Oh, he was like, hey, Bubba, you go knock that motherfucker out, like just like
That dude.
I want him down right now."
Can I give a little insight on this coach? This coach was the craziest hype man you've ever seen. Like before a game, like I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it because he coached D-line when I was there too.
Oh,
But
gosh.
this dude was he talked like he had gravel in his throat. So he'd be like, "What's that, raw?" Like talk like that a little bit.
From
But-
Waterboy.
The Waterboy
Yo,
coach?
for real. But like you could understand him.
But you can understand
You
it.
could understand it. But this dude, I mean, before game, it was like he was going out to the game, and he wasn't, bro. But he was. I mean, he was going out to coaches, but it was like he was going out to the game. He would pace back and forth,
Oh.
and then when it came go time, I might run through a wall if any day.
Listen, when you see him crack a smelling sauce on the sideline and just hit that a couple times,
And this dude would jump. This guy's vert was like 3 feet. He'd jump in there. You'd run on the sideline after a sack. He'd jump into your arm. Like that dude was wild. But when he
Veins
got
popping out.
when he got hyped though, it was on.
Really?
So he could get you going real quick,
Real
Go on.
fast.
You just see my face just spitting like I'm literally taking chew spit out of my eyeballs.
Oh, yeah. Always had a Copenhagen in. Always.
Oh man, and he was just like, "You go knock them." And that's when who was it? Isaiah Stanback was the quarterback, and I remember he yelled in my face as I get that motherfucker down. So I went out there, literally walked onto the field, and went right around the edge, slap rip, spun, sacked him, and that was like basically the last play to win the Apple Cup. And it was just
Wow.
like, oh yeah, it's game time.
And you won the
Is
Apple
that when
Cup.
Dobo
Yeah.
was coach?
Dobba-dabba-doo.
Was that the last time you guys won the Apple Cup? I'm just curious.
Hey, you want to see
That's-
the other end of this bottle?
Oh. Hey, he wants
Do you?
to jump, Joe. He wants.
Do you want to see the other end of this bottle?
I've seen Joe slap people for less. True, for less. Remember, you choked somebody yesterday?
A couple weeks ago.
So NFL when you took him down that to end the Apple Cup, you said it was to end the Apple Cup?
It was to end
seal
it.
the deal. They had a punt.
Was that like I'm NFL material?
Yeah. I mean, I always had this thing in my head, like, not arrogance, but I always had this feeling that I'm going to be the best no matter what. Right?
Yeah.
And
I think you have to have that.
you have to.
When I remember taking a class in my freshman year, like a speech class, stand up and talk in front of people and whatever, right? And they were just like, what are you gonna do after college? I'm like, I'm going to the NFL. And I was a freshman, and they're like, this lady's like, okay. I'm like, but like in my bones, like I knew I was going to the NFL. Like there was no doubt in my mind I was going.
Yeah.
Like it was just like, and I call it arrogant, call it what you want, or call it whatever you want to look, however you want to look at it. But you just like, I just knew I was going. It was just like a feeling I had, and it was just like, you can tell me whatever you want. I'm going.
I'm there.
I'm going.
But another thing too is like you almost you have to, like you said, you have to have that feeling, or else you're not going to make it. Because as athletes going to the league, for I would say 99% of the people are like, there's no second option. It's I'm going to the league,
Right.
and that's why you see so many people after football that just like are just so devastated, not making it to the league out of college because that's the only plan they had, right?
Mm.
Or let's just say there's people that were 10 times better than me, but God bless, they blew a knee out or a shoulder out, and they couldn't go farther, right? So I think the people that make it to the league have to have all the stars aligned for the most part, if you think about it, because everybody in the league, there was somebody out there better than them at their position.
Sure.
Right?
Right.
So,
I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with not taking no for an answer either. Like I was in St. Louis for 2 months, gone.
Huh.
And then it was like, okay, that was like devastating to me because I was like, damn, I was just in my own head at that point. You leave from college, you go to the NFL. Okay, you think you're there, but like it's such a business. It's different. The game is 2 times faster than college. Like, I remember being in college and coming back and watching a high school game, and I was like, I'm like watching a Pop Warner game right now.
You're watching it sound like slow.
Yeah, and I was like 8 months removed, whatever. You know what I mean? From high school, and I'm like, this is crazy, or however long. Not that long, 4 or 5 months maybe. And so it was like
the speed changes.
The speed changes everywhere you go. So like to the NFL, I was like, I remember the first time coming out of my stance, I'm like, shit.
Everybody's an All-American.
That's why we've talked about it before, and you can probably relate to this too. Like high school, you can get a full ride scholarship by being a good athlete, and hardly not even much technique at all. You're just a freak. If you've got speed and you're strong and like whatever, you get a full ride somewhere. You go to college, being a good athlete definitely helps you, but it comes down to technique at that point. You definitely got to hone your skill. You get to the NFL, everybody's a freak. So you're all technique and strength and speed. It's all aspects
and luck,
of it.
Right place, right time.
Right, for sure.
Everything goes into it.
Yeah.
So you did the combine. You mentioned it earlier. Did you do the combine too?
I just did a pro day. We just did pro day at our. So here's how it works: you can get invited to a combine, and that's in Indianapolis,
right?
Or they have a pro day at every major university. No,
And
they used to.
Scouts all go
They
out.
used to. So all the scouts
Yeah.
come out. So they run you through tests. They run you through all the combine drills. So it's essentially a combine, but it's just with your own
A
teammates.
centralized.
It's your own teammates, basically.
Right. Gotcha.
So, yeah.
So did you do the combine and did you do the
I did
pro day
both.
too?
Yeah, I did both.
And so in combine,
What's your 40?
499.
What?
I promise.
Bro, I was 305 around 48.
Bro, I'm telling you right now.
Hey,
I
like these
went
wheels.
I went from playing in college. I played like comfortably around 250, 255, and when I got out of college, I went to train for the combine. They're like, you know what, the scouts want to see you big, so I
So you're-
ran my 40 at like 275.
so you're just working out.
Hey,
Oh, so wait. You ran your 40 at 275. What were you
The
before?
wheels fell off, bro.
okay. You know what the best thing I ever did was?
Hmm.
Dave Lang, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. for sure. He was a strength
He was
coach
a
with
good
us. He
dude.
just passed away randomly like a year or two ago. Just random heart attack. But he like took me and Binu and like a couple other guys and took us under his wing, and he was like, "I'm gonna train you guys. I'm gonna trade you on your speed. I'm gonna train you on everything for your combine stuff." Like he did all our speed work. We did everything, and we were doing it daily. And I went from like a high 4, low 5 to 4.8, bro, on pro day, and I was ripping. And that was the best thing I could have done as far as like speed.
I wish. I remember my combine training. I might have worked on my 40 probably like 5 times.
No, it was just
Because you were thinking I don't need to focus
size.
on that. I need to focus on other stuff.
It was just crazy. It was millions of dollars worth of mistakes.
Is that what you were
That's
thinking?
why well, you think about it like that after it's gone. You're like,
Yeah.
shit.
You don't know, but also you don't know what you don't know,
right.
right? So as a young
Because
guy,
there's
you
no
just trust
draft
your
yet.
agents
Yeah,
and,
right.
you know. So I had no idea. For me, I just love football. I played football, and I
Right.
figured my agents were going to guide me on stuff they knew, right? So
I shit canned my agent. I kept him all the way through my NFL career, and then towards the end of it, like text message and everything came prevalent, and like there was no more calls, like just text message and business. I'm like, call me if you want to talk to me.
Mm.
Text message again. I'm like, you're fired.
Really?
Like, this is ridiculous. And I get like text messages was like hot at the time, but
Right.
like
But it's 5 cents a
Come
message
on,
at the
bro.
time, man.
I wasn't worried about that. I was more or less like, you and I built a relationship. We've been together for 6 or 7 years, and now all of a sudden we're on a text message basis.
Yeah.
Peace, deuces.
gone.
She gone.
So you're focused. You get through the combine. After the combine, did you at that time? Were you thinking? I mean, it wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. Like what? But at the same time, like what were you thinking at that time?
It was bad because I knew my 40 was bad, and then like after I figured out that like that's what it was all about was the 40.
Did you go in the tank after that? Like after you ran your 40, were you like, damn?
No,
I mean, 4.9's not horrible. I mean, I know you're looking at me like 4.8, like damn. but-
it's horrible for a DN because right now it was the shift. Before it was like big, strong defensive ends, and
They
then
wanted
this
the
was the shift to the
speed,
hybrid, right?
yeah.
The speed defensive ends. So I was going past that shift, and then I just remember the hardest day of my life was I was top 10 defensive ends in the nation at the time. I think I was like ranked number 6, between 6 and 8 or something like that in the nation. So, you know, I'm being told that, hey, I'm getting drafted, you know, second day, like high up and blah, blah, blah. Like, this is the thing. So I'm like, I'm riding on a high horse. Then after the combine, it's like,
Really?
Like, oh, you're going late, you know, whatever. And then all of a sudden, you know, I'm waiting, watching, and
That's
nothing
the
happens
worst feeling
first
in the
day.
world, right?
I'm waiting, watching, nothing
Sit there and
happens.
watch it all day.
I literally was like one of the worst experiences of the world,
Really,
in the world.
really.
And so I just watched, nothing happen. And then
Family there, they're all kind of waiting for that phone
Just
call.
waiting.
Your phone ring right afterwards, right instantly afterwards.
instantly after the draft, I got, you know, all these teams like, hey, you know, we'll give you 10 grand if
10
you
grand.
come play here. And, you know, and so, and it came down to New Orleans, and it came down to Miami. And my favorite player of all time was Jason Taylor.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I want to go to Miami and learn
Right.
from Jason. So
Was he a good mentor to you? Was he cool?
I think so. I think it was kind of weird because we looked alike. So
yeah.
like everybody, it was like the joke, like, oh, okay, you're gonna go coach your little brother up,
Yeah.
you know. things
But
like
was he
that.
cool with that though? I mean, did he help you out, or was
He
he,
was
more or
cool.
less like, watch, bitch, I ain't teaching you anything, just watch?
The cool thing about Jason was like, he's there so long. He's the
Yeah,
gold
yeah.
jacket guy that was like, he didn't need to do anything
Right.
if he didn't want to, but he was like, if I asked him a question, he would answer it. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm like, hey, can you help me? He wasn't a dick about it.
That's cool.
Do you still keep in contact with anybody from back then?
And Joe will tell you, when you stop playing, your phone, it's like people forget your number. Like I had to
Quick.
call AT&T a couple times. Be like, is my phone still working? It's just a-
No, it's quick. It's weird, man, because you
Weird.
build great relationships with people, and like, I think if you came across each other right now,
Like,
it would
hey,
be
what's
like,
up?
yeah,
And-
everything would be cool, like right back to normal. But as far as like football goes, man, and like you said, you can attest to this. It's like you literally like you're super tight. You guys hang out all the time. You guys are boys. You're over at their house. You're over there at your place, like whatever, every weekend, whatever. Off season, you guys are doing everything together. You're traveling together. You're playing golf all the time. You're doing whatever. One of you guys are gone. It's like
Crickets?
for real, like instantly, like not instantly, but within like a week or two, it's like gone. Like you acquaintances then. It's weird, bro. It's
Wow.
just the way. It's just like the nature of the beast. It's like
It's kind of like at work too. Like if you ever worked at a job and you're best friends with someone at work, and then you go to a
Right.
new company, kind of the same thing.
Kinda-
I
kind of fizzles.
Yeah.
guess I just thought about that.
Fizzles.
I don't like
It's
it.
business. No,
I don't like it.
No.
So then, did you have that chip on your shoulder then? Go undrafted and like, I'm going to prove
Yeah.
myself. I'm going to go hard. I'm going to go at it.
Yeah, because you almost have like that scarlet letter though.
You have
Because
to.
in the league, if you're the drafted guys get more chances, no matter what. And I'll argue this with anybody: if you're a drafted guy versus an undrafted person, you're not going to get the same looks or the same respect as a drafted person.
Trust me,
No question about it.
we've talked about this.
No
we
question.
I was
And
in
we've
St.
seen it.
Louis. I was in St. Louis. Drafted a tackle 4th round. They're like, "Okay, we're working pass sets today." He's like, "What's that?" Coach is like, "What?" He said, "We just paid you 400 G's or whatever it was, signing bonus to come out here. You're going to be here for a minimum of 4 years, and you don't know how to fucking pass set?" And the dude's like, "No." And they're like, "Okay." Same thing with like Seattle, 1st rounder, doesn't know how to shotgun snap. Hollenbeck, get in. But I'm not playing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he gave you $6 million. Cool.
Did you have the same experience at all?
Same thing, yeah. So it was one of those things that you got to work. It's the blue collar mentality, right? So haves to have nots, almost like you got to work a little bit harder. But I've always been that guy.
I thrived on that though.
I've always been that guy. You have too,
Yeah.
right? You know that you're gonna have to carry the stone up the hill both ways.
Gotcha.
Bro, I think of practice like day in and day out, like what I had to do. It was insane. Like we'd have a walkthrough every morning in Seattle, and it was like an hour and a half walkthrough, and it wasn't a walkthrough, bro. It was you wore them little shells, like the little. They're not shoulder pads, but they're like shells. They fit like shoulder pads, but they're like maybe 1 inch thick, like just little pads.
Yeah.
And it was balls out. Like you're not tackling anybody, but up front in the trenches,
You get fast
it's
hands.
balls out. And then you do that. You come in. You'd have lunch. Have like hour off, and then special teams practice. What was I doing? Out there running a scout team for an hour, then hour and a half. Then the rest of the team would come out, start a whole new practice, full practice every day. Go in, shower, go sit in meetings, bro. It was like a 12-hour day every day, and you were like, it was.
End of the day, you're just wiped. And then
Oh.
you're
No,
like,
you do it every day.
and
though.
then like tomorrow,
You can't be white.
you're going to bed.
You
You're
will
like,
get fired if you're white.
oh,
You
really?
gotta go, bro.
So that
It's like you
so when
turn
you're
the
going to
switch
bed,
on,
you're
you
like,
go.
all right, well, I'm sore and
See you
beat
at
it.
6 a.m.
Okay.
See you in 12 hours.
Wow.
I remember when I was in Oakland, I signed a free agent deal there, and I had hurt my knee at practice. Someone fell on it, and I'm getting ice. And Keith Millard, old Cougar great, he comes to the locker room, he looks at me, he goes, "Are you hurt?" He goes, "You better not be hurt, because you'll be fired if you're hurt." Swear to God, I put some ice on my knee. Guy was like, "Nope, I'm good. I'm good." Jogged out, limp jogged out, and was like, "No, I'm good."
Wow.
But it was like I could not afford to be hurt.
Wow.
Because there's 13 other people waiting, outside the facility to get in and take my spot.
So you just had to keep just.
You just had a gun to your head at all times.
It's cutthroat.
Wow.
You gotta go. You gotta go and perform. And if you don't, you
Is that
got
what-
about 2 or 3 shots and then you're gonzo.
Is that what people are missing when like the fans, the football fans? Are they not seeing that aspect of it? Are they
course
not?
not.
Are they not? They're not keeping that into their.
Nobody can. You can't explain it. You can explain it, but you don't understand
don't
it until
care.
you live it.
Why
Right.
do they care?
Yeah, it doesn't bother them.
They just want to win.
Yeah.
Right? So I think at the end of the day, like, they don't see people getting Novocaine shots in their knees.
Tramadol.
Tramadol or Toradol,
Toradol,
whatever.
That's what I was talking about.
Like,
Tramadol.
I'm telling you right now, there was times when I couldn't even get up, couldn't even stand up. But it's like, hey, you got to strap it on and play next week.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Could not even stand up. The pain was so unbearable. I was like, hey,
I used to
put
get a
me
shot.
down.
I used to get a shot before every game in college.
Yeah.
A shot. Then they shied away from it. Then like you'd be like dislocating fingers and they'd be like mangled over the top of each other and they'd be like
Just popping it back into place, go back out
I'd
there.
pop it back in and then they'd happen again
Buddy
and happen
tape.
again.
Buddy
and then
tape
they
it.
buddy tape it and then it'd pop out again and then you buddy tape all three of them together and they'd be like, hey, come see me at halftime. I'm like, for what? I'm fine. It doesn't hurt. He's like, it's gonna. And I'm like, okay. And you walk in at halftime and you're like, hey, all right, what's up? He's like, pull him down.
Hey,
He's
drop
dropping
the
ass
drawers.
cheek. Dropping ass cheek. Bink. Shot. All right. He goes, it's going to wear off about midnight tonight at me. Cool. I'll let you know how that feels in the morning.
That's awesome.
Oh man, hey, I don't know if they do that
We
anymore.
don't do that. That's old school stuff.
I just
Bro,
remember.
they used to get them snooper snug jerseys on us, and they'd be like, well, I don't know if I should say it. Well, they'd spray us down like pledge, like furniture wear, so you're slippery, so D lineman couldn't grab you. And then so the equipment guys would, on our shoulder pads, they'd use double-sided tape, and on D lineman too,
To stick it.
over all of your shoulder pads, like they'd cover your shoulder pads in double-sided tape. Then they would have your jerseys fully fitted on there and straight, and then you'd put it on. So you can't pull your jersey off your shoulder pads. And then we'd douse each other with pledge. Like,
Just slide right
I don't
off.
know, should we say this shit? Oh, I don't do it anymore. Who cares? That was old school stuff.
No.
But they sprayed us down. We'd spray each other down with like pledge. So
This is getting released tomorrow morning.
so we were so we were slippery. It doesn't matter. So we were slippery when D lineman couldn't grab our jerseys.
Did you guys do the Michael Bennett? I mean, he just retired, but you guys get the smaller pads.
Michael's wild, bro. I can't believe he played with those. There's no way I could have played with those. Every time I watch him play, I'm like, how does he play with those shoulder pads? That looked like an AC sprain break waiting to happen.
All day.
Oh, well, no parts of that.
Hey, we're gonna wrap this one up. We're gonna get into the second one. Okay,
That's rad.
Okay, but real quick, you said you did mortgages.
Yes.
You want to plug what you got going on right now?
I do. So, Team Bruce is with Guild Mortgage. Guild Mortgage is obviously a local company, but we service our own loans, and we're the number one loan team in the Tacoma branch. So, we do loans all over Washington. So, I'm still closing loans in Pullman, all the way down to Vancouver, all the way around. So, if you need a refinance or purchase, I'm your guy.
Right on. I like it. And you're you're licensed in all of Washington and everywhere else? Or
So
what?
all of Washington, my team is licensed nationally. So if you have any purchase or refinance around the country, just give me a call and we can get you set
you'll
up.
be able to help them out. Right on. Sounds good. Hey, Joey,
Yo.
you may have to hit the bench for the next episode because I used to be a mortgage broker as well. I don't think you're a broker, but we'll talk some mortgage slang while you kind of sit there and kind of figure out what's going on. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Not hollering with Hollenbeck.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Well, everyone, thanks for listening. We're going to jump on another one in a little bit.
Hey, appreciate you guys. Appreciate you listening. Subscribe.
Absolutely subscribe. And
Man down.
What was that?
that was you going through a friggin' wall.
I just knocked over the horny goat.
6'4", 330.
Yep.
Hey, take some of this tonight before you go home, big
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah, there you go. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. MK, thanks for joining us. And Joey, it's always
Appreciate
a pleasure.
you, big dog.
Take care.
You just give me a head nod. Nobody even heard you say anything.
Thank you, Joey.